Hello, my name is John Cheney, and I'm a ISSA certified personal trainer. Today I'm going to do a video, and the video is about weight loss, metabolism, and the muscles, and how it all works together, and how you can best use that in order to improve your conditioning and lose weight. A bit about me. The reason that I became a personal trainer was because I lost 100 pounds in 2018, and that is a picture of me, and that's the cover of one of my singles that I released on Spotify under my name John Cheney III, called You Got This. It's kind of an inspirational song. The picture on the left is me when I weighed 260. And the picture on the right is me at goal weight, which is right about 160 pounds. What I'm going to talk about is what's on this chart. And here's the chart. To start off with, you have to understand what kind of muscles your body is composed of and what kind of fuel that they run on. If you want to lose weight, almost without exception, you're talking about burning off fat when you have excess fat on your body. So the best thing to do is first to see where you're currently at in terms of your muscle fibers. In the leftmost column at the top it says 2X fibers, type 2X. Type 2X fibers are called fast twitch muscle fibers. They're only good for about 7 seconds, but everybody who has muscles has these. Even no matter how unconditioned you are or what age you are, you got 7 seconds of full force to use. That means that if you're in a house or a burning building and it catches on fire, then you got 7 seconds. Like, go ahead and run for it as hard as you can and try to escape, right? Like, whatever the situation is, you've got 7 seconds. After that, if you have to continue on, muscles start to get damaged, and I'm not certain how that kind of injury plays out in that situation. And of course, some people have more than 7 seconds, but if you've been sedentary for maybe longer than like a year or 2 years, and you don't have a current exercise routine, then most of your muscles that are skeletal are type 2X. Type 2X muscle fibers are made for fast, explosive type of force. They only last 7 seconds, and they are the majority of muscle that sedentary people have. They run anaerobically, which means that they do not use oxygen to run. The main fuel source for type 2X fibers is ATP. Let's take a second and talk about ATP and its relationship to metabolism and energy. Look at the chart. As you can see, if you start with ATP on the left, ATP is also known as adenosine triphosphate. When a muscle is contracted, then if you follow around the energy cycle, then the phosphate is released, and that phosphate is burned as energy, and the remaining chemical is called ADP, which is adenosine diphosphate. So there's one less phosphate in the what was ATP. Now it's ADP, and then this cycles through the body, and then at the bottom it says organic consumption of food via the stomach. So you will eat again, and that organic material then is digested in such a way to make itself available as a phosphate and rejoins with the ATP, and the cycle starts all over again. Type 2X muscle fibers mainly use ATP, but it's thought that they can use a little bit of sugars or carbohydrates. And I'd like to continue to talk about metabolism while we're on the subject. And if you look towards the middle of the chart there, where it says fuel used, okay? When someone is mostly sedentary and their body is composed of type 2X muscle fibers, mainly the energy that they use is from ATP and sugars, but mostly ATP, ATP is thought to be like a battery because it stays in the muscle as soon as it's replenished, so it's just there. But sometimes the type 2X will use some sugar, and that depends upon the conditioning level of a sedentary person. Now, somebody who may have been bedridden for 5 years because of an injury, for example, they may not be able to burn very much sugar at all with their type 2X fibers. But somebody maybe who has had a short-term injury like 6 months or a year, they may have had a better conditioning level before it. So they have more of an ability to use sugars as energy. The next type of fiber is the 2A muscle fiber. And this is a fast twitch muscle fiber, but it comes as a result of conditioning. And it's made for explosive speed force. There's a lot of different examples that you can see in sports, such as a pitcher. When a pitcher throws a baseball in the major league, then that is an example of a quick, explosive burst of movement using a fast twitch muscle fiber. Right? A golf swing is another example. Something that is just a burst of energy. Right? Like wrestlers, even though what they do, it takes a lot of conditioning and strength and training, they still are mainly using a lot of explosive force. And then the type 1 fibers, and then the type 2 fibers is in a transition because they burn a lot of sugar, but also they're able to start burning protein if they train for longer periods. The type 1 muscle fiber only built by long-term conditioning. An example of that is marathon runners. A marathon runner has loads of slow twitch type 1 muscle fibers, and these can only run aerobically. They will use some proteins, but after 20 minutes, the type 1 muscles must use fat in order to burn energy. What's important to note here is no matter who it is, no matter what your level of conditioning is, you have to start by burning off the ATP first. Then you go to sugar, what's in your system, burn that off. Then next is protein, and that takes up to 20 minutes. And then after 20 minutes, if you're conditioned with slow twitch muscle fibers, then you can start burning fat.